so playful, this bike. Right, okie dokie. I'm here with my new beast, my rig to do all trails. And today is a bit of a test in my local area, which is the South Downs area, part of the southeast of England, in particularly Friston Forest. Yeah, just come down the Fairy Trail and it's behaved rather well. To get to this point, I've done a few uphills, and this is today really is a day of testing to see what this thing actually is like, climbing the hills that I would normally climb before I actually head back into Wales again. So far, it's peachy. It's super comfortable. That 74-degree seat tube angle is playing its part very, very well. This really and truly is a bike that can do everything. The head angle 63.6 comes into its own when you throw it down some gravity-based trail. So yeah, I'm looking forward to today. So I really hope you enjoy today's video, and yeah, like, subscribe, all the other wonderful bits. Well, please leave comments, and if you've got any questions about the bike, I'll be very happy to answer as best as I can. Let's hit some trails. Okay, so let me begin with my bike. It's an Atherton AM.170 version 3, and it's a custom spec. I've changed a few little bits on it. The frame is made of carbon tubes that are nautical grade and 3D printed titanium lugs that are bonded together with a unique Loctite glue. I upgraded the wheels from the standard Stans Flow wheels that came with the Spec 3 to the EX3 downhill spec wheels. The size of the wheels is 27.5 at the rear and a 29er at the front, which makes this a Mullet setup. I spec the wheels with Continental Kryptotal front and rear tyres, both of which are downhill casing. The front is a super soft 2.4 and the rear is a soft compound 2.4. The suspension setup is RockShox Zeb Ultimate 180mm up front and the RockShox Super Deluxe Ultimate Coil 170mm with a 500-pound spring on the rear. The brakes are the Hayes Dominion A4s. I upgraded to Galfer shark fin rotors, which is a 223mm up front and a 203mm at the back, laced with Galfer pads as well. The cockpit is made up of the FSA Gradient 30mm rise 780mm bars with the FSA Gradient stem at 35mm and laced with ODI long neck grips, and the seat and post is the Fox Transfer 200mm dropper with a Proxim Nembo saddle. Last but not least is the drivetrain, and I particularly wanted the SRAM GX 12-speed Eagle drivetrain because of its dependability and its reliability. I also added a Rapid Racer Products Pro Guard up front and a set of my absolute favourite pedals, the Crank Brothers Mullet Downhill. Okay, so at the moment, just at the base of a pretty epic climb, which will give me some nice downhill trails. So there's my little gift at the end of the climb, but the challenge is to get up this climb in the first place. Just switch the old GoPro on so you can see what I'm talking about. It's not particularly big, it's just steep. So this is something that I really want this amazing beast to actually attempt and actually do really well. So let's go and see if it's going to hold up and give me the goods. Okay, so I'll apologise in advance straight away for my huffing and puffing. It is the winter time and it's slightly chilly and the old body's struggling to keep warm, so it's using up more energy, and being an old codger now, I don't have a lot of that, so bear with me. Right, so we've got this coil in lockout mode. It's super easy to use. You've got lockout or unlock out. open and close, nice and easy. Now, I can't feel any bob. It certainly feels pretty solid. And as I say, this is quite a steep climb. The GoPro will not show I'll probably say 35 degree climb. It's enough to get me out of breath, put it that way. Bike's handling it beautifully. Really nice climbing position, very comfortable. At 74 degree seat angle, and that's an actual 74 degree, and that's linked in with the rest of the geometry. Oh, it's steep and long. And there we have it. This is the climb to the top of one of my favourites called X-Files. So let's go and have a look. Okay, let's open up this sucker and head down X-Files. These brakes are so flipping powerful. Sometimes forget just how powerful they are. Yeah, this thing absolutely rips down here. And these tyres, oh, I love these Contis, so flipping grippy. Even in these kind of sketchy flipping, chalky, slimy conditions. Oh, that's good. Right, so just on the link road now, which is a nice little fire road. It takes me back up to the trailhead. It's aptly named Cardiac, and yeah, it's not very flat. It's a gradual incline, gets a couple of steep bits here and there, and oh, those brakes, need to adjust those, and yeah, it's just a nice steady climb. So again, this is another thing I want to make sure this awesome rig can handle, and so far it's very relaxing actually. So as you can see, it's not particularly challenging, only in the mind kind of challenge really. It's just a bit long drawn out kind of climb. Rather than climbing all the way up past the logs up there, I think I'm actually going to go to the right. There's a nice little bomb hole up there, which is quite fun. Have a couple of runs in that, carry on to the top of the hill and back into the trails. More nice technical little climbs. Lots of them in the Friston forest. This one's a little slimy, so it's nice to feel the bike's capabilities in these conditions. Not a lot of loss of grip. Yeah, another great success. well, the forest is quite sloppy in places actually. Wasn't quite expecting quite so much sort of dense, thick, claggy kind of conditions. It's not the lightest of bikes, this AM170. It's running at about 16 kilos, which is amazing for when you're hitting the gravity stuff. And actually, I'm finding it's a benefit when I'm climbing because it sticks to the trail like glue. There's no kind of flapping around with the front end raising. It sticks, but I can definitely feel it's kind of probably like any bike really, to be honest, held back with these conditions. So the Contis, which are the Kryptotals, they're 2.4s, they are downhill casings, they're a bit heavier as well, and they're brilliant when they're not so clagged up. When they're a bit clagged up, I need to release the mud before I can fully trust the grip. Morning, cheers. It's effortless with its climbing ability. It feels very fluid. Doesn't seem like there's any restriction or feel that way. The tyres, the frame, the geo, the gearing is incredible. This 12-speed SRAM is amazing. It's GX, by the way. And this Mullet setup with the 29 and 27 is amazing. Love it to bits. Agile, fast, stable, reliable, dependable and safe. Amazing climbing bike, this thing, considering it's 180 at the front and 170 at the back. It's one hell of a capable machine. Pushing up is another test I want to do with this, and this is unfortunately where the weight of this thing, this beautiful thing, isn't to my advantage. You can probably see how steep this is. I'm going to come down this in a minute, see what it's like. It's been used for a while, and it is very steep. Whoa! And a little slippery. Okay, it's got steeper, and I'm having to use the brakes to kind of assist me for grip, which is very useful because I've got none on my feet other than these roots. I'm going up sideways. There's not a lot of foothold. There's the downhill I'm going to go down. Yeah, steep to say the least. And we continue. Now this is a little bit of an extreme push-up. I could have ridden a much easier way, but not much of a test. On some of these trails, I'll push up only. But it's happening. It's going up. And by God, it's going to come down. So I'll see you when I get to the top. And we're heading down with a bit of gravity. With us, that is, not against us. Yes, thank you very much. See you again soon.
See you.
Absolutely awesome, this. Woo! This is good. Whoa! Oh, a bit off there. Very good. Well, this thing is amazing me even more. Last week in Dovey, the capabilities of this thing exceeded everything I was expecting, really. Yes, it's fully designed for gravity style biking and it excels in every possible sense. Now I'm finding actually climbing, it's just as good. I'm a little bit shocked as to how good it is at climbing. For such a beast of a bike, it is an amazing climber. Like I've already pointed out, this bike isn't a lightweight. At 16, maybe 16 and a half kilograms, it's a bit of a brute. Obviously it needs to be able to smash downhill and the weight helps, but I don't find it hindering me when I'm climbing at all. That's one of the things I thought was going to happen. I've been riding for 3 hours so far, maybe 3.5. I've done a lot of climbing. Some of the climbs have been pretty steep. It's quite energy sapping from the point of view of the sort of soggy terrain that I'm on, but no, I still feel I've got a decent amount of energy, so I shall continue. Right, this is going to be my last climb, and it's a super steady climb, this one. It's roughly about a mile long, maybe a mile and a half. So it's a great end to the day, actually. There's a lovely downhill coming up back to the car. 4.5 hours so far. I am now really feeling it, running out of energy a little bit. And the legs are sort of feeling the pain now, feeling the burn. The overwhelming result is that this bike climbs amazingly well. So if you're looking for a bike to tick all boxes, then I reckon you can go no further than the Atherton AM.170. Well, it's official. I've run out of energy. Not surprising for 5 hours in the saddle, but it's all been amazing. This bike has exceeded everything. Okay, so today's climb testing on this amazing rig. Yeah, pretty wildly impressed. Dan Atherton, you're an absolute dude, you know your stuff. Yeah, it's exceeded all the expectations I had for its uphill capabilities, and it's ticked every box, just what I wanted it to. I kind of knew it was going to be like that anyway, but today has confirmed just how good this thing is climbing hills as well as descending hills. It's a gravity based climbable weapon. So if you are thinking of upgrading, I highly recommend getting yourself down to Atherton Bikes. Go and hire one of the e-bikes, go and test it, get it out on a demo, and yeah, speak to the guys and girls at Atherton Bikes, send them an email and go and test one. You can get a frame or you can get a complete bike. Either way, you're going to get one hell of an amazing weapon of a bike. Check out my video here for when I collected my bike and tested it in Dovey Bike Park. And check out my other video where I originally tested the prototype AM.170. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. See you next time.